louable. I don't know if it's the good word in English.
Say
Louable,
it, say it in French.
louable. It's
Parfait.
like hello everyone, welcome in a new episode of Robert Spotlight. Robert Spotlight, Stefan, welcome on the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you to be here. So Stefan, aka Section Chef, it's your artist name.
Yeah, kind of. And Twitter
Perfect.
handle. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
Could you present yourself to people that don't know you?
Yes, I'm coming from Austria, Vienna, Austria, originally Linz. And nowadays I'm a generative artist, doing NFT projects for almost a year, I think. And I'm studied economics in Austria. So I'm a business consultant right now in Vienna, doing innovation projects towards a sustainable future, a green future, and as well a father of 2 kids, and do generative art. And started to paint for I think it's 10 years ago or even longer. Started to paint in oil on canvas, old-fashioned way, and then I switched to acrylic, did some courses and classes, and somehow I really like the digital media. And what I really missed with the painting was this undo button. When you make a mistake doing a painting and you fuck something up, then would be nice to have an undo button. And mixing colors is far easier in digital. So I started to use P5.js also a long time ago, and combined paintings, acrylic paintings, with data analysis and data, and projected some visualizations on paintings. And then things changed and technology changed, and I'm still trying to keep up with all the changes and see what I can do. Yes.
All right. Thank you for this presentation. It's a kind of you seem to have a busy schedule with everything that you are doing. I will get back a little bit on your journey. So basically, right now you are consultant, and when did you start working with data?
I think I started when I discovered that there was a platform called Kaggle, data challenges for people. So they put on a data set and a question to the data scientists out there. And then people try to fix models, create models, and the winner with the best model gets a prize, basically money, I guess. And I thought at that time, wow, this is interesting. And I needed it for my business. So doing reportings and not doing Excel with my bare hands, but to use the power of code. And I just learned to program and code out of curiosity, out of need for automatic reports. And that was something that fueled the whole learning process, learning programming and so on. This was about 10 years ago, probably. Yeah, I just realized the other day that you have to add 10 years on top, because I'm already almost 40. I 38, and often think it was 5 years ago, and then I realize when I look up, oh, it's double the time. So it's really hard to remember when it was exactly, but that's not important. So I started with data and programming and coding, and I really liked the courses of Coding Train, which is very famous, I think, on YouTube. So I learned the whole thing on YouTube videos concerning the creative aspects of coding, and doing the painting, which I was also doing, and never stopped painting. So I continued And then I said, "Ooh, it would be cool to combine this data analysis, data visualization with some art." Yes, that was kind of the story.
Okay, perfect. So in fact, I don't know if you end your sentence, but I laugh because we are the same age basically. You know, you
Yeah.
are 38, I'm 37, and we have the same issue with
Yeah. Okay, you know
with
that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's why I laugh. So thank you for this explanation. So basically, you had kind of opportunity to learn the code for your business,
Mhm.
and after you kind of find a relation between coding and art.
Yes.
Did you remember if you have been triggered by any artist back in the day?
Not really. It wasn't that that much I saw in the internet about data and art. And what I saw was this kind of huge project of big famous artists and doing installations in big halls and events and so on, but nothing at my scale. And that's something I really like in the whole NFT community, that there's so much going on and you find people on all different levels, and it's so easy to access inspiration. That's really something I missed at that time, I think. So I had the feeling that I was the only one doing some kind of crazy stuff just for my own interests and passion areas. And yeah, and then I found out about hard to remember, but I found out about digital painting. So I said, okay, this is kind of stupid to paint on a canvas and project the stuff I created in digitally, to project on it with all the keyframing issues and projection mapping difficulty. And I said this must be a little bit easier, and that was probably also the time I found out about NFTs, so that you can paint digitally and have a marketplace for it. And I started to do that and bought this kind of tablet where you can draw on it, whatever this is called, and created paintings in Krita. For instance, I did a painting for the COVID statistics of Austria, visualizing the daily rates, the daily statistics of hospitalizations and mortals and so on a painting. And then I created a similar object digitally for the CO2 emissions, global CO2 emissions for the past 10 years. I found a data set, an open data set, and visualized the change in time on a digital painting. And that was the first piece I sold on as an NFT. So this was kind of pretty good link between this old world of painting, acrylic stuff, and doing this almost the same thing on an NFT level and digital only. So this was a drastic change. And yeah, that was the first painting I sold, and the first NFT adventure.
Okay. And it was which one? The COVID stat or the
It
global
was
stat?
the CO2 emissions
Okay.
visualization. That was the first one I published on Hic et Nunc. So that was the the crazy times when you saw what the hell is going on in this world, the Hic et Nunc community, a new universe of crazy stuff. Many things too crazy for me, but still some some movement and this community which was easily accessible for me. That was a great breakthrough and a great motivation. So, and then I put out this painting. I can remember now that I published this painting, this CO2 emissions thing, and I sold it for 10 editions, 10 pieces. And I sold it for 0.01 Tezos on Hicketnunk. And I was totally thrilled to see that people bought it in 2 minutes. And I was the happiest man alive. So that people actually were interested in stuff. Although it wasn't a lot of money, just to know the fact that people liked the stuff and we made a transaction with something I created. That was a big thing for me, because that was the first time I sold anything. I just do painting and art for myself to experience something new and learn something new. And that was quite a thing, yeah. Stop.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I just want to ask you, do you recall your first memory about NFT? And because you started out of an experiment, with the CO2 emission, but do you recall what triggered you to go on this world? Did it was an article? Did it was an emission? Did it was someone close to you talking about NFT? Do you remember?
Not exactly. I think somebody told me about it, and you saw it in the media that, this old people story and all other big projects, and people are earning money. And I said, I don't care. I just do my own thing, and okay, it's nice. But I wasn't very interested about it. That changed as soon as I found out that there was this CleanNFTs. That made it interesting for me, because I had I had troubles about the fact that there was this energy consumption of Ethereum and other platforms and blockchain. Didn't want to go that road. And as soon as I found out that there's a green solution, I know that I just Googled, isn't there some alternative for it? Then I found out this Tezos community, and that people already realized the whole thing and made the solution out of it. That was a groundbreaking information I needed to say, okay, this is cool. Makes it easier. It's not that harmful for the environment, and has all the benefits out of it.
Okay.
And then it started, and then I found out about Hicketnunk, watched that. I wasn't too thrilled about the results I've seen there. So all the artwork there wasn't my personal taste, most of it. But still, to see what was going on, and every second there's something new published over there. So I never dealt with OpenSea and so on. I just went straight to Hicketnunk, and then I remember what was really important for me and the whole path towards generative art was a tweet of Ismaelio. I don't know if I pronounced this correctly, because for me he's just some Twitter handle and an image, a profile pic. And I saw what absolutely cool thing you can do with code and pure JavaScript and generative art. The whole concept that changed.
Okay, so basically it's that tweet that led you to dig deeper on the generative art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I really liked what I saw there, and was quite impressive to see what you can do with it. And I said, I want to do that.
Okay, so it was kind of a discovery for you at that time.
Yeah, it was the big eureka moment.
Okay, get it.
So,
okay.
Wow,
So
this is really cool.
From this eureka moment, Did you study on your own, or did you try to find other kind of a generative art movement to be inspired by?
Yes, it was the keyword I needed. So the first keyword was green NFT or clean NFT. And the second one was this generative art or Gen Art Club. And once you have these hashtags, then brain overload and total overload of inspiration. So this is what I meant before. It's so easy to access inspiration and interesting stuff. I can go to museums in Vienna, but I see stuff I already know. And opening up Twitter and searching for those hashtags is amazing, and so much worth more.
Okay.
And then I started to follow all those big guys like William Mappan. So my heroes. I mean, these are all well known, but there are less known people. Like every day you see something extraordinary, and wow, I don't know how they are doing this, but I like it, and you just celebrate it, and that's really, really cool in this community. Everybody is celebrating what other people are doing.
And do you reach out to because here you talk about being influenced by someone else's works? Do you sometimes reach out to someone to ask deeper information about, or did you technically achieve this thing? Do you do that?
Not yet. I would love to, I guess, but I haven't done it. I have so many stuff I want to try out and experiment on it. I'm still in this exploration phase of let's see what I can do and so on. And I would love to come up with a collaboration with somebody else, because that's also another cool feature of this NFT community or NFT movement, that you can collaborate easily with others and bring out cool projects together and learn from each other. That would be cool. But for my current situation, I have so many things I want to try out, and still so much areas I want to learn. Yeah.
Okay, so collaboration is going to be something on the future.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And do you already know which artist would you love to do a collaboration, or you didn't go that deep
No,
yet?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But I have the feeling that it's easy just to ask for it. And there was also a question of FX Hash, my favorite platform right now, where they're asking for who's in for a collaboration and who is good in coding and who is graphic designer and so on, just to combine those people for getting better results. But there are some Twitter communities, and I think if I ask, hey, who's up for a collaboration with me, then maybe somebody will come up and say, okay, let's do this. And if not, then it's fine.
Okay, but so today you don't have any kind of target, like
No.
Okay,
No,
get it.
no hit list.
Okay, perfect. Regarding your day-to-day, what is your day-to-day? Because my assuming, I know you not that much, but from what I heard from you, it's kind of side thing, the gen art. It's not what you are doing during the day.
Yes, but it's, you think about art all the time. And I think about my projects all the time too. And you just prioritize and see what is important now. So I'm in the office right now, for instance, but I can talk to you, which is more the art world for me. And if I have to do something in the evening for my business, then I do that. So it's my own decision.
Okay, perfect. Basically, you handle your schedule as you want.
Yes, and like this whole pandemic effects was like you can have a meeting in the garden, and then you shut down your laptop and do something with your kids. And half an hour later, you have a good idea and you note down something for the next painting. So
Perfect.
it's very dynamic.
Yes, flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Flexible.
Flexible.
Yes, I would say. Okay, it makes perfect sense for me. We
So
are
you know
kind
that.
of the same,
Mm-hmm.
the same. How to call it? Avatar. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is your current work in progress?
My current work in process.
In progress.
Current
Because
work.
I saw on your Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
you put sometime the hashtag whip.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just try to do a new version of something of a work I really liked. When I started, it's called Landstreicher. It's very minimal, and it's just some hatches, some lines on a canvas, and it's a grid, a dynamic grid. So each time you refresh your browser, you have a new composition. And I'm trying to make this larger for the resolution. I would like to print it and hang it up on a wall somewhere. That's why my wife urged me to, almost forced me to make a new version of it, because she wants to hang it up, and I would love that too. And that's why I need to redo it and to rework it and make it better with all the stuff I learned in the meantime. And yes, it's not quite clear if I do a very limited update of this work, or if I go further and make something new out of it. So there's a list of stuff I want to do, and the next one is the brush. I came up with a concept yesterday for a new brush, which I have to try out maybe tonight.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. And the last thing I did was a 3D artwork called Medusa, which was also kind of a new thing for me, working with a physics library in JavaScript and doing this on a perceived two-dimensional level. So it was a painting with physics engine, I would say, different to all the other stuff I did before with physics engine. But it's hard to talk about art. I don't really like that that much. I really like to show it or to watch it and just keep my mouth shut and experience it.
Okay. Why you are not comfortable to talk about art?
No, I think it's crazy. It's I create the stuff for watching it and not for explaining how I did it and what I thought about it. And then I just write the letter and you can read it. The thing is the artwork itself, and everybody should look at it and find out if he likes it or she likes it. And if not, then it's okay. But it's bit crazy to talk about it all the time and do this crazy descriptions of the philosophic moments you had while working on this artwork. Yeah, normally I just write, there's all there is to say, and that's it.
Perfect. Regarding your process, do you you work with a algorithm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you before putting everything on chain, do you work locally on your desktop? Could you talk a little bit about your process before putting things on a FX Arch?
Okay, I have, where do I start? It normally starts with publishing a project. Then it's, oh, crazy moment, and how will it be, and what do the people say? And at that time, I normally already have an idea for the next thing, because I stop working on the artwork as soon as I say, I don't like it anymore. I would like to work on the next stuff. And then I copy my all the code I need. So I'm trying to have trying to establish a basis of code of all the functions and things I need for the basic artwork, like exporting it and resizing it and some functions for the colors and so on. I'm reusing this, and with each artwork, it's getting more and more and better organized, structured. And then I start out with small experiments, and then it's going fast in the beginning. So in the beginning, you have the luxury of experimenting, and you can just quickly try out stuff. And as soon as more and more code is written, then it's harder to get in this exploration mode and try out stuff, because you can break other things and you have to mind the technical aspects of, is everything rendered okay in every resize mode, and is there anything breaking up something else? So I'm maybe I have three modes. I'm thinking about what I would like to do and take notes, like during the day, and come up with an idea, thinking about it while I go to work or wait for the bus or so on. And then I note it on my phone. And the next thing is I try to do it, build it and program it and try it out. And it's so important to have the environment where you can try out stuff and don't be limited to, okay, I thought I will do this, and most of the time it doesn't work. So you have to explore, okay, I expected it to be different, and then you have to change. And it's really, really important. That's what I learned, to have this environment where you can quickly change, explore, and don't break up anything. And that leads me to the third mode. It's the programmer mode of structuring code, organize it. What about performance, the technical details. This is the kind of software engineering aspects of it. And all the time I'm oscillating between those modes, what is needed most. So I have my task list. What is the biggest question mark now? And then I try to tackle the biggest question mark. And this is kind of similar to my innovation projects I'm doing at work, because you try to figure out what is the biggest problem right now, where's the biggest uncertainty, and try to tackle that point, and then you do the next step. So it's very much the same.
Okay. So thank you to explain these.
Hope it was clear.
Yes, it's very clear. It's just I'm gathering the information real time and also thinking about the follow-up question. And my follow-up question, it's about when you are testing the algorithm to find out if what you were thinking about, it's really what it's happening. Maybe sometime you have a little good surprise, maybe sometimes bad surprise. But where I want to go, it's about the variation. Did variation? It's a big thing for you when you look the iteration.
Yes, that's the generative art moment of using randomness to make it interesting and to make it conceptually challenging to have these different iterations and different results, but all out of the same recipe, out of the same algorithm. So I work with a standard set of colors for an instance, and then I change the colors and use something else in order not to get too static, too fixed on a specific image, but to change it and see the artwork with different parameters and different contexts, and try out the different elements I can tweak to make this this artwork look different with each iteration. So it's a very, very nice and very important aspect of this generative artwork to use randomness as a friend.
Okay. And regarding the randomness, how do you come up with 100 edition?
How do we come up with what?
Currently, you know, I'm on your FX Arch page, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, there is a 7 collection, and mainly it's a 100 edition.
100 editions, yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying out different stuff. I don't know what the whole point is about the editions. I mean, having less pieces makes the price go up, probably. I don't know. That's what my economic logic would say. But I just try out something.
Okay,
and
so
see how
it's
it
just
goes.
out of a try.
Yeah. It's 150, 250. I have no idea, and I'm still experimenting about the publishing process. So what's best? Do I post it on weekdays or in the night, or how long until, or how many information do people need? Is it 1 week before publication, tweeting about it and say, hey, this will come up on Sunday, 8 o'clock Austrian time, be there? Or is it in the next 10 minutes, Stefan Schwaha is publishing his newest, biggest success? So I'm trying different things and see what comes up. So far, I haven't found the solution.
Okay, get it. Because in fact, I asked the question because the number of edition, you know, there is like the long form generative art and a short form. And the short form, it's where when the artist do the curation beforehand, and the long form, it's when basically it's on the collector side to make the curation, you know. And so my question was, did this thing was a thing for you as well, or it's really something that you didn't consider?
No, that's why I like FX Hash so much. This was another big moment in the whole NFT journey for me, to see what the concept of people have the ability to mint their own individual version of something I created. And I'm doing this code, like conceptual art, like this Yoko Ono stuff in the 60s, where you write something down, a recipe for an artwork, and somebody else builds it and uses it and owns it. That idea is amazing, and something that makes the NFT blockchain combo very powerful, I think, and a true innovation. And that's something I really love to say, okay, this is the code, this is the recipe, and you guys can see what you can make out of it. And if you like it, then get it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But I don't want to curate the results.
Okay.
I think it's a great feature to have this community curated or buyer curated element in it.
Okay, makes sense. And so in this way, my next question will be why you don't increase the edition number? Did there is a like it's it's a like an open question, I don't know. It's maybe it's around did the code it's return to perform well at this capacity, or basically what I try to find out if it's did there is any relation between the code that you are doing on your side and the edition number that you allow collector to be able to mint?
A slight one, maybe. It's how many variation is going on in the artwork. So if there's little variation and it's very limited, it's just the colors maybe that change, and you have a palette, you have 10 different palettes, then there's no big need for large scale editions. But if there's much going on and very much variations, then I think that justifies higher editions, higher numbered editions. That's something I'd say. But apart from that, there is no real difference, not from the code or performance or something. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's a gut decision from myself. How many?
Okay, perfect. So green NFT, it's a big thing for you. You talked previously about sustainability. Since the Ethereum merge, do you consider to be present as well on Ethereum blockchain?
Not really. I haven't thought about that much. I mean, I really like that happened, and it's cool to know that the consumption, what I read, was like the consumption of Chile before, and now it's a small village in comparison. But I'm so happy with this Tezos community and the people around there that I don't see much benefit from it. I really like to be there in the FX hash universe because I like the concept very much, as I already pointed out, and don't see the need for new marketplaces and new things, which are kind of the same thing but different blockchain. If there is a new feature, something groundbreaking, then of course I'll be there and say, hey, I want to try it out and learn it and see what I can do out of it. But if it's the same thing, I'm not that convinced, or the motivation is lower. I would rather work on my art stuff.
Okay, so it's mainly due to the community, right?
Yes, and I'm used to this place now, and it's a lot of work to find out about new places, and I think it's easier for me to focus on all the small challenges that I have with my artworks, rather than doing a new safari on what is out there and go to many platforms.
Perfect, makes sense.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about your community? Today, I mean, when I talk about community, I mean your collectors. Could you talk a little bit about them? Do you know some of them?
Not really. I'm really quite unsure who these guys are and what drives them to collect artworks. I mean, I totally love those people, but I don't really understand them, why and how, and it amazes me. I don't really know them. It's also on my list to contact some of them and ask them what they like and why and how, because that's really interesting to understand, and would love to have this relationship to them. But it's also it's a bit a downside of the community. Often you don't really know who those guys are. You see a Tezos wallet and that's it, and it ends there. And maybe you can link it to a Twitter handle, and then you can see, okay, who is this? But it's harder to find out the person behind it.
Oh, you find it difficult to find who is?
Yes.
Okay.
Who are those people?
All right. So maybe they don't showcase either their Twitter account, Discord account, or where you can find them.
Often it's
social.
just Tezos wallet and that's
Okay.
it. And maybe you just write them thank you for your support and so on Twitter. But it would be great to have an event, like a art exhibition event where everybody is there and you can speak to the people in person. Maybe a virtual event. Had the idea of doing something like this. But as you see, my task list is long and
I get it.
My mind is limited.
And your time as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But this would be really cool to have a FX hash ball or something where you can hang out together and talk about the artworks.
Yes, and to understand why, what drives them.
Yes, because that's something I do in my profession, asking customers
feedback,
doing interviews, feedback, find out what do they like and why and in which context. That's something I'm missing right now here.
What would be the if you had the opportunity to ask one question to all of your collector, what would be your question? What would be that question?
The thing I don't know the most about is why do you collect? What's the motivation behind it? Is it owning stuff? Is it speculation? Is it printing it out and hang it on the wall? Is it just liking what they see and supporting artists? I totally don't understand. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Can make a clue out of it.
Okay.
Do you know?
Me? No, I don't know. You know, I will make the same assumptions than you. You know, it can be several options that can be a bundle of them, but from collector to another, it's going to be a different driver. So I don't have a blind reply, and I mean, if someone give a blind reply like this, it's going to be either you know, a liar or someone delusional, because you will miss the context, the nuances. So basically, I don't know if the collectors themselves didn't reply to that question.
You have to ask people directly, face to face, and see.
Yes, I believe
their reaction on it. Okay.
Yes, and we have to talk about your donation, because you donate, if I get it right, 100% of the primary and secondary sales to a foundation. Do you want to take a little of time to talk about it?
Yes, I thought it would be a great idea, great opportunity to just donate all the stuff I earn from the artwork. I like the idea of doing something nice and beautiful, in my opinion, and use this value for helping children. That is the NGO I'm donating to, Save the Children. Didn't know them, but the whole crypto thing made it easier to donate. And at the same time, I don't have to fear somebody breaking in my wallet and stealing all the Tezos I earned. So I just get them out, and don't want to do something like a hardware wallet or something, and I don't want to mess around with taxes I have to pay. And in my situation, it's easily possible to just donate the money, and that's something I really like and motivates me. So I don't really collect anything. Some exceptions here, but I try to just look at it, admire it, what I see from others, and don't collect it. I think this is also a very it's an own job. You really have to be dedicated, and I don't want to be a collector. I'd rather be an artist, because I think this is a lot of work collecting. So I just focus on my stuff, learning, getting better, and the money which is earned goes to people who need it more than me. Yes,
So
makes it easier.
okay. So thank you for the reply, and it's very louable. I don't know if it's the good word in English. Louable.
Say it in French.
Louable.
Parfait.
It's like I don't know if you know it's
no, I'm just bluffing, but I know what you're referring to.
And what would be that word?
What the word would be?
Yes. Well, what would be the
honorable
word
or something?
Yes, it's that. Yes, it's very honorable for you
Mm-hmm.
to do these things. Yes. One
Mm-hmm.
Other question. It's about the future. About so I know that you have a big task list. You want to improve yourself. You want to test things out. You want to discover new territory. How would you see yourself in a 10 years period?
10 years. I have no idea. I'm fearing of doing projections in the future for longer than 2 months.
Okay.
It's changing so quickly. But what I learned is that you have to do the stuff consistent, and that's something I would really I'm trying hard to be consistent with the efforts I put in my artworks, and not say I'll do this for 5 months and then the NFT hype is over and then I do something else, but rather stick to it. And for me, this generative artwork is a field I think I can work for the next 10 years without any boredom, and finding new stuff and getting better all the time. So I from today, I'd say that's the field for the next 10 years, doing generative artwork and combining it with maybe other fields. Yeah. So sticking to what you do. Otherwise, it's a waste of energy and time.
Okay, I like that reply. So little I have two little things to see with you. It's something called in French passe décisive, so it's like a decisive pass. And basically, it's when I ask to my current guest, which other guests would you like to see on this podcast, and which question would you like me to ask them?
There's a person which is a collector in the Tezos community, and I admire her because she's so energetic and so positive to everybody around there. Her name is Danielle King, if I'm correct, and she's like clapping for all those artists coming up with their artworks and investing a lot of energy for artists and the works, and that's a person I don't really understand. I admire her, and that's not a negative thing, but I would ask her, why are you doing this, and what is the motivation behind it? She is quite famous. Yeah.
Okay,
that would be interesting.
And last question for me, it's Stefan, for you, what is an NFT?
An NFT, for me, it has to do with the support of an artist and the value for sensation in your head. And it's still a question mark. I like this paradox of it, of owning something which you cannot own and which doesn't somehow make sense to own something like an artwork, not in the digital form, also not in the physical form of owning a Mona Lisa. Is also ridiculous, I think. And it's I see it more like not a technological innovation, but more a innovation how we perceive digital and digital works. But it's a philosophic topic, and every time I'm asking these questions and try to dig deeper for an answer, what is it, and why do I like it, and where can it lead? Then somebody in my brain presses the emergency stop and says, Stefan, do your art. That's too difficult for your brain. Do something else. So that's the place I, yeah. That's the end of the story. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Just heard it. I should stop.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. It was a fun chat with you. And sorry, did I didn't ask you a question that you would like? Basically, I didn't cover something that you wanted to talk about? I forget to ask you.
No, I think you got all which is there. Yes, I think there's nothing else what I would be missing from this conversation.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup for having me and asking me stuff.
Yes, thank you, Stefan, aka Section Chef, and basically on social, I will put all the link where people can find you online. But basically, the handle it's Section Chef on Twitter and also on FX Hash. So it's going to be easy to find you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Stefan. Goodbye. Have a nice day. You are going to be busy, so thank you for your time, and see you.
Thank you. À bientôt. Merci.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.